Well, hello everyone. We're back with another episode of Walt Apartment Presents, and we're joined by Donnie from Donnie Jacob Media. So we're going to learn all about him and how he spots like cast members and all the fun things. It's going to be a fantastic conversation. So let's get started.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and you listen to a podcast that believes in dreams, that places trust in the magic of imagination. That is always the first start of the right, and where the light is always on. Join as we discuss the views from Walt's apartment.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Walt's Apartment Presents. This is Amanda, and I am so excited to be joined by the one and only Donnie Jacob. He is a photographer and content creator who does an amazing series of Disney cast members and photographs of them, and we're going to talk all about it. I'm super excited because I have been following Donnie for a long time, and you should too. We'll have all of his channels down in the show notes below. But Donnie Jacob Media is pretty much where you can find him everywhere. Thousands and thousands of followers, and rightfully so. Donnie, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Oh my gosh, Amanda, thanks for having me. So excited to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so we just met like last week, which is wild. So we met Savannah Banana Day at the park, and we were both entering DCA. And my mom was with me, and she's like, I'm pretty sure that's Donnie. I'm pretty sure that's him. And you were like 3 rows away from us. And I was like, oh, I think you're right. And luckily for you, you have your jersey on. You had your backpack on, but you had like, you could see your logo and everything. And that's what I love about you too, is like, you are so down to earth, but you have your brand. So like I ran to go as fast as I could. I didn't actually run. I Disney walked. And met up with you, and you were just so nice, and took a few minutes out of your day to chat with us, and now you're on the show. So thank you again.
Here we are. Thanks for making it happen.
Absolutely. Well, I have to congratulate you because yesterday marked episode 120 of your cast member series. That's fantastic. So first off, right off the bat, tell us, what is the cast member series?
Yes. Okay. I have like my camera on this side angle, but I guess we'll talk straight. It's all good. Okay.
All good.
So about 15 months ago, I had an idea. Before that, flashback, I've been a photographer pretty much my whole life, and I wanted to start an online series, and I didn't know what. I knew it was going to have something to do with people and portraiture, my 2 favorite things in the world. And I love Disneyland, right? Maybe that's number 3 in the world, favorite things of my list. And I was like, okay, for this series, maybe we could photograph people at Santa Monica Pier or Laguna Beach. I started doing it at the beaches and just finding strangers and highlighting anyone that I thought had an interesting, cool look to them. And then I thought to myself, no one's really doing this at Disneyland. And I talked to some friends, and I actually quickly found out that cast members can't even really ask for professional photography of them while they're on their shift, right? Sometimes they'll get selfies, or people take pictures with their iPhones, but it's a very rare thing for a cast member to get a professional photo while clocked in, while they're making magic. So I was like, wow, okay, not only can I start a series here, but I can kind of hit 2 birds with 1 stone and serve these cast members as well, giving them professional photos, making their day, celebrating them. So it just felt like this perfect thing for me to do that I haven't really seen anyone do at the time. So about 15 months ago, I walked down Disneyland, right down Main Street, and I was like, okay, I don't know who's going to be the first one, but we're going to start this series highlighting cast members. These are the people behind the magic. And the heart of the series is really highlighting the people that don't really get the spotlight. You might not notice, the people handing out churros or handing out balloons, like they're amazing magic makers, and they're the reason, the parks are so magical. But you may walk past them and not think twice. And I was like, okay, we're going to make a series where they are now the main character. We're going to give them a dedicated video all about them, spotlighting them, and in a way that, hopefully resonates with a lot of people. And then the series gained a lot of traction. For the first 20, 25 episodes, it was supported, but it wasn't that big yet. And then as it started to snowball and blossom into what it is today, it's unbelievable. I can't even believe it. I can't go to Disneyland anymore. And the fact that you even recognize me is unbelievable. Like, this is never something I thought would happen, where people would recognize me. But that's at the heart of the series. It's not about me. You're not going to see my face really on my social medias if you look me up. I've been very intentional to build a brand all about celebrating amazing people outside of me. And the cast members are the perfect subject for a series like this, because they are the magic makers. And I've now, like you said, got to 120 episodes. And it's been the joy of my life to celebrate these people, and the reception has been truly overwhelming.
I love that so much. And it's true, because I try and make it a point every time we go to thank a cast member in person, especially those who I feel don't get enough thanks, like custodial, and so anytime I'm in the bathroom, I always thank the cast members, because they are doing the Lord's work. Like, I kudos to them. I don't know how they do it. So, but the fact that you are highlighting them, you see their smiles, they radiate happiness. And you are capturing that in so many ways. In the people who recognize you, they're like, oh my gosh, like, this is happening to me. This is awesome. So the fact that you are able to provide magic to them is fantastic. So thank you for doing that, and for bringing us along for the ride, because it's infectious. It really is.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you talked about going up to your very first cast member. Like, were you super nervous? Were you am I going to get turned down? Like,
oh my goodness, yes. So I was really nervous. And I actually found confidence as I started doing more and more. And I developed a script basically for the first, the hook, because I'm also a social media guy, and I know you need to have strong hooks. It's, if you have a great product, but no one sees it, you got to also be able to sell it and get it out to as many people as possible. So I was like, we need to come up with a hook, something that's repeatable and that I can, memorize basically. And it takes the stress off me, so I'm not stumbling over my words, because I was a mess for the first 10 shoots. I would know what to say. I'd be like, I think you're really cool. Can I photograph you? No. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the drawing board. And I came up with this thing that you've heard in now 120 episodes. I've honed it in. And I've honed it in at the beaches, at Laguna Beach. Those were my trial runs. So when I came to Disneyland, I already had the plan. So since episode 1, with a cast member named Lauren, amazing shoot. And basically the script is, hey, I do a series. My name's Donnie, or what do I say? I say, question for you. That's my catchphrase. I have a question for you. I do this series where I photograph cast members and wonder if I can get a portrait for you. And that's just kind of the same thing I've said in pretty much every episode. But before I had that script, I was a mess. I was so nervous. If you go back and watch my first videos, you can see my voice is shaking. I'm so nervous. And I still feel the nerves. I still get nervous still, but I have the confidence now, knowing that I can definitely get the shoot where I want. Because when I walk up to someone, I know I can get great portraits of them. I'm going to be able to guide them from start to finish. There's less of the nerves of wondering whether or not I can have a successful shoot with someone. Rather, it's just the nerves of, talking to a complete stranger, but it always goes so well. And the cast members are always proved to be so great to work with. So there's never anything to be nervous about, really.
I love that. I love it so much. That is true about anything that we start off with. The first few are going to be nerve-wracking, and you might get some no's, but that's okay. We push through, and I'm jumping ahead, but we got to see you at work with the Savannah Bananas, and to see the master at work, if you will, and you're guiding them and doing all the things. We're like, oh, this is the magic happening. I feel like I'm behind the scenes at some big production, even though it's just you and whoever it is that you're photographing. But it's just fantastic. So for anybody out there who's watching or listening, be on the lookout for Donnie, because you never know what magic you're gonna see. So I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. The Savannah Bananas. What an experience that was.
Yes.
Jackson Olsen. I'm a huge fan of him. He's a star player. Dude's a superstar, right? And just the most genuine, nicest guy. Like, can't recommend a better person to follow. Check him out. But he actually reached out to me, which is unbelievable, right? It's just like a testament to the story of shooting these cast members and just building a brand based off of authenticity and being genuine with people. Good things happen when you treat other people really well and make a channel all about positivity. So these things start happening to me, and it's overwhelming, but I was able to connect with Jackson, and I reached out to him for the shoot, but he reached out prior, just saying that he is appreciative of my cast member series, and which was such an awesome compliment from him. And we were able to set up a shoot with Jackson right when the players were doing a meet and greet and signing autographs around the Golden Horseshoe, and around 2:00 after the Bananas finished their performances. And I was able to shoot with Jackson, had an awesome shoot with him. The video, I think, turned out really cool. It was a ton of fun. And then I didn't have any more shoots planned after that. So I kind of just lingered around. It was supposed to just be Jackson. But then I was able to work with 4 more Banana players just because I was in that area. And I was like, you know what? Let's just see what happens. I got my gear. I got my camera. These people are amazing. So I just kind of lingered. And then one after another, they walked past me exiting. And I just kind of was like, hey guys, you want to do a shoot? And each one of them that I asked said yes, and it was just an awesome experience. So that was unbelievable. The Savannah Bananas, man. Who would have thought?
Yeah. No, that whole day was insane. Just high energy all day, and all of us as a unit were moving from place to place, following them around. And we didn't even expect to see them by the Golden Horseshoe. We were just looking for our images and stuff, and so we were like, oh, wait a minute, they're over here too. This is fantastic. So everyone go to Savannah Banana Day, because you never know what is going to happen.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was the coolest Disney day in a long time, and just a lot of steps in. I mean, I ran around. I watched the parade in Disneyland, and then in the performances in DCA, and it was a hot day. It was it was.
Yes, it was.
It was fun.
We waited 2 hours in the sun for that cavalcade.
Oh my
it was brutal, but that's okay. It was totally worth it. We got a lot of high fives, and would totally do it again. So walk us through your process. How is it that because you walk by hundreds and hundreds of cast members every time you go, how is it that you pick, okay, I'm going to go to this particular person and see if they're interested?
Yes. Okay. So we're going to get into the secrets now. So all the cast members listening, this is how you get on the channel. No, but I'm very respectful of the guest experience at Disneyland. This is something I have to take into great consideration. It's never to get in the way. I don't ever want to get in between a guest and a cast member or disrupt the experience, right? So I'm very intentional to only pick cast members that are isolated, and I make sure they're not with guests. And then I kind of, a lot of times you don't see it in the videos. So the videos might start with the question for you, but there's sometimes a lot of the videos will have stuff that isn't in the video, where I talk to the cast members before the shoots. So sometimes I'll be like, hey, excuse me, are you busy right now? Are you with a guest? Do you have a few minutes? And then they'll be like, no, what's up? And then I'll be like, question for you. Can I take your picture? And then that's where the video would start. But there's this whole 30-second, bit before the videos often. So that's something you may not realize, is the question for you isn't always the very first thing I say to them in the interactions. So I'm always looking for them to be not busy, in an opportune environment where there's just also not a lot of guests around them. So I try to find those isolated moments. A lot of my shoots are in the evening. So you might notice a lot of the shoots are around golden hour, because the lighting's better for portraiture. A, that's the main thing. But B, I'm able to kind of pick moments where there's the crowds have died down. So it's it's more unlikely for me to photograph a cast member in the middle of the day or peak hours, especially if you're working in an area with lots of guests, because I just don't want to get in the way. And there's two reasons I do mainly custodial, because if you go through the whole series 120, I would say the majority are custodial. There's probably like an overwhelming percentage, probably 30%, something like that. One, I love custodial, and they represent the series, the message of the series, the underdog, the people that don't get the spotlight, that do all the work and are just amazing. They need to be celebrated. And B, a lot of custodial are walking around the park, sweeping in areas where I'm able to have really natural interactions with them. They're not working with guests directly. They're not behind booths or in stores. They're just walking like in the middle of the main street, for example. And that just sets up for a really natural approach for me. That's not to say if you don't do custodial that you don't have a chance of being in the series. That's not at all.
Right.
But I'm really looking for those elements of if they're isolated, and also I'll see. It's kind of like a hard quality to describe. Everyone deserves the spotlight, and it's my goal to highlight all 36,000 cast members. Up to this point, I think it's just like a feeling I have when I look at someone or a cast member. This is just for anyone in general with portraiture. I'll see them and I'll be like, okay, I'll kind of observe for a minute. I'm like a fly on a wall almost. I don't just like see someone and just beeline it and approach them. I'll kind of see like, okay, are they having conversations with cast members? Do they have like a bubbly personality? Are they smiling? Are they happy? Because not everyone always wants to be in a public, spotlight series. Anyways, you know what I mean? So I have to be very careful in particular. But if they meet those criteria, I would love to highlight them. And I'm pretty non-discriminatory when it comes to picking cast members. I'll literally highlight anyone, anytime. It just has to be the right moment. So.
No, that makes sense. And I strongly suggest everyone who's listening, even if you have checked out his videos before, just go and see all of the people. Like, just keep scrolling through, because every single one of them, they are smiling. They I keep thinking of the word radiate. They radiate positivity, and it just brings you joy. It really, really does. And so I love that you highlight custodials. Like I said, I'm always like, you guys have got to get at least a thank you. That's the least we can do. But to highlight them is just wonderful. And kudos to you. That is a big goal. All cast members in your series. That means that this series is going on for years, and I approve. Oh, that's fantastic.
No end in sight. Let's do it. I want everyone. And that's the big long-term goal. I want to go to Walt. I want to go to all the parks. I was so fortunate to do the Disney Cruise Line experience and highlight cast members at sea, the crew. So literally cast members all over. I want to highlight everyone. So 36,000 is on the low end. Let's get the whole world of cast members.
I love it. I love it so much. And also too, I've noticed people who have been on your series that I see in the parks, and I'm like, hey, you were part of the series. So it's fantastic. Cool. And they're like, oh yeah, that was so awesome. So it definitely creates a core memory for them as well, in being recognized and appreciated.
Wow. That's my mission. I love it. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. So who is on like your bucket list of like, it would be so awesome to do a photo shoot with?
Okay. I have been thinking about that actually a lot recently. I would love to photograph, let's see, obviously Josh DeMero, I think would be a big one. I would love to go through sort of like the higher ups, executives of Disneyland, and give them their spotlights, because they do a ton of work, but they're totally behind the scenes. So I'd like to maybe explore more of like backstage experiences, people that, especially third shift cast members. I would love to get out and shoot cast members that do the overnight shifts. I was able to do it once, but I wasn't able to do like individual spotlights for the series. I did kind of like a recap video of the third night celebration, which was the coolest thing ever. I did an all-nighter at Disneyland. But more third shift cast members would be a huge goal. And the new president, Jillian, she would be an amazing feature as well. So that would be a big goal for sure. Oh, and
that would be awesome.
Hank, is it Hank? The fireman. I have like a list of all the names. Disney legend. Yes. Hank. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Amin. Ameen. He's the longest serving employee of over 62 years. Just more legends. Let's get him on the series. So.
That's awesome. So if any of you guys are listening and have connections, make it happen.
Please tell me where to be. I'll do it.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite place to photograph?
Inside of the park?
In the parks and outside the parks. It'll be a double question.
Okay, double question. Rivers of America, I think, is gotta be my favorite place. At golden hour, it's just so beautiful. The way the sunlight reflects off the water. And I just love that whole like New Orleans Square area just in general. But being around the water at sunset with the Mark Twain, I actually very intentionally chose that location for episode 100, where my buddy, cast member DJ, who's also a skipper, he turned the camera around on me and photographed me for that episode. And I really wanted that location. I handpicked it at golden hour. It's so pretty the way the lights on the Mark Twain reflect as well off the water for like shimmers all over the river. That's a very special and favorite location for sure. San Francisco Square in DCA as well at golden hour is just gorgeous. Definitely those two spots I would say. And then outside the park, I love Laguna Beach. That's still like my favorite place. If I'm not at Disneyland, I'm definitely going to be at Laguna Beach area. That's like my favorite spot to frequent. And also golden hour. I'm obsessed with that time of day for obvious reasons.
Right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. No, I love all the spots because you have like that soft lighting behind them. And so it kind of, so for those of you who don't know, I'm Amanda with Where in the Park, as you see right above my head. So it's kind of like a Where in the Park are they kind of a situation before I even click on the video. So I'm like trying to piece together like, okay, so you got this color, okay, they're on Main Street or, whatever. So it's a fun game for me too.
I love that. Yes. And that's a big goal of mine for the series is to highlight all the different types of cast members, uniforms, costumes, different areas of the park, because there's a bunch I haven't got yet. There's a whole room of shoots still to do. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And did you say you have not been to Walt Disney World yet?
Never been. No.
Oh, Donnie. Oh my gosh. So when you go, first off, you have to pick a new favorite spot for Magic Kingdom because their Rivers of America is no longer. So that's going to be very sad. But new opportunities await.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I would love to go there in the next 100 episodes. So before episode 200, we got to get some, I want to do a whole week there and explore each park and shoot like 50, 60 episodes. And just round out through episode 200. Let's do like episode 150 to 200 all at Walt Disney World. How cool would that be?
That would be fantastic. So when you do a photo shoot, so say like you're driving to the park, right? Like in your mind, do you already have set of like, I want to do 3 today, or I want to get as many done as I can?
Yes, I have really like clear goals. And sometimes I'll leave with 0. So it's happened many times. It just, if the timing isn't right, I will never force a photo shoot. It's crazy. I will go to Disneyland. I will go through the whole process, and I don't ride rides. I'm a Disney photographer. So that's another misconception. It's like, Donnie, do you have fun going to Disneyland all the time? It's like I have a blast, but I don't go on the rides really. I'm just looking for shoots. I feel like my whole purpose right now in my life is just to highlight people. Like I just want to use my gift to shine a light on people. I don't want to spend any free time just having fun. I know that sounds lame, but I'm just like, I just want to focus on people. And when I go to the park, I try to get like 5 to 10. That's always kind of like a ballpark number. If I can get 10, that's great. The most I've ever done in a day was 12.
Wow.
And I would say the average is like around 4 to 5 probably on a shoot. I'll go for like 4 hours. So I'll get in the hours if everyone wants to try to time it up to find me. I typically go weekdays and I'll go around like 2 o'clock. So I go late. I go around 2 o'clock and then I'll stay till sunset, and that's about when I head out. So if you're gonna see me, it'll be in those hours, and you're most likely to find me around golden hour, like just hunting for cast members, because it's a fun time. I mean, the lighting is so beautiful. I can get into how I make portraits work at any time of day, but the most cast members I shoot is right around golden hour. So let's say I go to Disneyland and I'll do 10 shoots. 6 or 7 of those shoots might be in a 30-minute window. I mean, I'll go back to back to back once it gets golden hour. It's crazy. It's just, sometimes it works out like that. But yeah, I would say around 5-ish is my average number, and I go maybe 3 or 4 times a month. So like I only go like once a week, and I try to get about 5 shoots. So it's around 20 cast members a month, average 20 to 30.
Wow. That's crazy. So thank you for sharing that, because here I'm thinking, okay, you're going from rope drop to park close as often as you can and trying to get everything so you can like maybe stack them together or whatever. But that's nuts. That's fantastic though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And especially with the time change recently, I haven't gone so much since. So I would probably more realistically come around 4 and stay till 7. So it's really just about a 3-hour trip when I go, and I just look for shoots. So
that's awesome. Have you had cast members who have seen you and like stop you and ask for their photos?
No, they haven't. No one's been bold enough to like try to like get in the series by us. Thankfully, it's all happened organically. But I have had so many come up and just talk to me and just say like, thank you for what you do. Thank you for like shining a light on my fellow cast member. Like it made his day or made her day. And it's all she talks about. And it's like, it's unbelievable. It's like, I think you feel like I'm really doing something important and putting some good out there. So yeah, it's an amazing feeling. So yeah, I get stopped by cast members. They'll give me like fist bumps, high fives, hugs, and just be like, keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate you. And it means the world to me.
That's fantastic. No, I like I mentioned, every single piece that you have, every episode is with positivity. And you feel that. And so especially with everything going on in the world right now, having a spot where it is guaranteed to make you smile. Like,
yes,
we need more places like that, and you're highlighting the good in humanity. And that is, it's empowering. It's inspiring, it's empowering, and I love it so much. So to hear that the cast members are also coming up to you and saying, thank you so much for help, shining a light on what we do. And that's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, it's the coolest feeling in the world. Thank you it's not enough of a response. I don't have words for it at this point. It's overwhelming, really.
Well, and for it to be a huge passion of yours too, I'm sure it doesn't feel like a job,
right? I don't work a day in my life. Yeah, I'm a kid at a candy store. I'm just playing. It's just fun. I feel like I've fully embraced like the childlike, vision and dream of just being a kid and just playing. And it's amazing. It's not work, and it's the purpose of it. There's real purpose and a mission behind it too, where every shoot is the most important shoot in the world to me. Every person deserves it, and I can feel the weight of it. Like I'm actually creating something that makes a difference in people's lives.
Oh, I love that. What would you say for like those who are just getting started in photography, or they're just finding that spark of how amazing photography can be, and maybe want to pursue this as a career outside of Disney, in Disney, wherever?
Yes. Oh, I have great advice for people coming up. Learn your camera, learn the settings, be very technical, understand how your gear works. So buy a camera. It doesn't need to be an expensive one. I would recommend starting small. don't get all worked up over the gear. A lot of photographers are just crazy about the gear. Need the right type of camera. I need an 85 millimeter. I need a 24. No, just get something that works, something that covers a wide range. I recommend just a 24 to 70 millimeter lens because it's going to be able to zoom it in for a portrait, zoom it out for a wide. One lens, that's it for your whole kit. Get a camera. If you can afford a mirrorless, it's going to do you wonders because it's going to take really nice pictures. But if you can't, get a DSLR. But then I would focus like 10% of your energy on the gear. Like get it, understand how it works, and then put it aside, and then put 90% of your energy into understanding how to build relationships and treat people well. What I do is it's so little about the photography. My whole creative journey is all about people and building relationships and treating people well. So understanding like human psychology and how to just be a decent person and treating your subjects well, because then they're going to feel comfortable on the other side of the frame and give you infinitely better results in the portraits. This is just for portraiture, for example. When you treat a person like a person and you treat them well, like you care about them, I always go out of my way to just treat people really well. And in like my professional non-Disney cast member series, let's say I'm doing like I do engagement photos, weddings, not to plug those services, but I've done it all, and I always find ways to make those experiences as smooth and like luxurious and comfortable as possible for my clients. Things you wouldn't think about. Let's say you want to do a photo shoot for like an engagement photo shoot, for example. Show up with an ice chest filled with cold waters that they can drink after the photo shoot, like because they're all going to be tired. They just did like no one. You have to just treat people, go the extra mile, never, do the bare minimum. Like, here's your photos, have a great day. Like, no, here's your cold water, and don't even give them, just hand it to them. Don't be like, hey, do you guys want water? Because then people will be like, oh, I don't know, I'm okay. She's like, here's your cold water, enjoy. Here's this, you guys did so good. And then just have a clear vision for where you're going. One thing for all of my photo shoots, I can always see the end product before I even start. I'm never guessing or figuring it out on the fly. So as I approach someone, let's say a cast member shoot, as I'm saying, question for you, before I even have that first interaction where I talk to the person, I've scouted my surroundings. I'll have picked out the exact spot I want to photograph them, where their face is going to be completely shaded evenly, because you have to have the face in shade. It's called open shade. It's when you have an object that blocks the sun, so you can have even shade basically any time of day. So that's a key thing for all my portraits. If you go through for all 120 episodes, you're never going to find a cast member with bad lighting on their face, because I've intentionally chose every single location for every single portrait. So having a plan, you got to understand your gear, understand how to treat people well, like better than you can, like to the maximum. Make them feel like a king and a queen for this few-minute photo shoot. And then being able to envision the end result is going to make you also exude confidence, because you know exactly how to get this project from A to B. You can already see the end result. So yeah, just be super prepared, understand those key principles. And as you understand photography, look up the exposure triangle, understand that principle, and that's really all you really need to know. Photography is so overcomplicated, and it's really a simple endeavor. I know people are like, what? No way. It really is. Stop shooting auto. Please switch your cameras to manual when you get it out of the box. Understand how to actually take a photo. How does ISO affect the image? How does the f-stop affect the image? Shutter speed. Play around. Just have fun and experiment for a good bit before you do any type of professional shoot. Don't think just because you have a camera you're ready to be a professional. So that's my advice. Understand your gear like at the back of your hand. Like I can tell you every setting into the menu settings on my Sony camera, and I could walk you through it if there's a problem. And then once that's done, put the camera away, let some dust grow on it, and just focus on people, because it's all about relationships and people. It's all about people.
I love that so much. You could totally teach a master class on this, by the way. So some things that I got, one, know your camera inside and out. Yes. Get it off of manual mode, or get off of auto mode, learn your manual mode. The exposure triangle principle, I've never heard of this, so I will be looking into that.
Yes. Yeah.
And so understanding people is like the biggest one that you said. Understand people, get to know people, be intentional, and make them feel special. And I think that those things apply to everything we do, right? Whether you have a camera or not, be a human, understand people, go out of your way to make them feel special, and being intentional, being authentic, and because it shows when you go up and you're immediately going to ask them for something in hopes that and getting something in return versus having a conversation. And so I love that. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, of course. I love talking about this stuff, so this is fun.
That's awesome. Well, before we wrap up, because I could talk to you for another 5 days, but where can everyone find you besides at the parks?
Besides at Disneyland, my social media handles are pretty consistent across the board. It's Donnie Jacob Media, Donnie, Jacob Media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram's definitely where I'm the most active. So follow me on Instagram. I share a good bit more exclusive things there. And yeah, just I'd love it. I'd love for you to follow along the journey. We're really just getting started too. I mean, we're about 15 months into this. I want to get to episode 1,000. We're just gonna keep growing and growing, and then 36,000, and then I'll be old with gray hair, walking down the park, hunched over, like, can I take your picture? I'll be like the old, cast member photographer in 50 years. So that'll be me.
That'll be you, and I cannot wait to see all of the amazing cast members that you highlight next. Now, quick question, because it just occurred to me. Is that now your main focus, or do you have other series in mind as well?
The cast member series is my number one thing. That is my sole focus right now. And I do some really exciting things as well with like junkets, where I do Disney Plus type of casts of shows where I get to photograph them. I explained that terribly. But I was able to work with Zombies 4 and Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and if I can get those opportunities, that's amazing. That's also a huge part of my interest right now. And right now, this is April 2nd. In 4 days, I haven't shared this with anyone, but I wanted to share it here. I'm gonna be sharing a photo shoot with. Can I say this? I think I can say it. Yeah, I just can't share it. Frankie Muniz from Malcolm in the Middle. So that's gonna be a big one. So be on the lookout for my page for that one. I can't wait.
That is fantastic. So this episode will drop on April 5th. So if you are watching as this is first announced, then it's coming up, right?
The day after.
4 days.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. How exciting.
Yeah. Oh, it's a dream come true. He was such a genuine person. I can't even believe it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations in all of your success. And thank you again for shining the light on the cast members that absolutely deserve our thanks. I mean, we have the cast member compliments on the app, and that's great. But to be able to highlight them in person and bring a huge smile to their face, and just shows how much we appreciate them. It's fantastic. So thank you again for all that you do. I can't wait to see where you go next.
Oh my goodness. Likewise for you and the podcast and everything in your life. I'm so excited for you as well.
Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. So if you are just tuning in for the very first time, welcome. Be sure to subscribe down below. Check out Walt's Apartment Productions on all of the podcast players. And be sure to check out the show notes where you can find all of the links to Donnie's pages. And until next time, we hope you enjoy the view from Walt's apartment. See you next time.
who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.